What's going down? Oh man, hold on. Give me a second. I gotta check my whatever that thing goes off. Give me a sec. Sorry. So how are you guys doing? At least let's go there. How's everybody doing? Good. I hope. I gotta switch my camera out. Give me a second. I know I look greasy as shit. Look like an old nasty snitching politician. I look like all I do is rap for a living. What's going on, Angie dear? How are you, dear? Oh my gosh. All right, we are. Hey, how's it going, guys? Jerry's here. What's going on, my guy? Oh my gosh. Okay. You guys have that. Okay. Okay, perfect day. How's it going, Renita? Happy to see you tonight, dear. Thank you so much for still showing up, man. Showing love. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. Today, man, we got a hell of a show for you. So if you guys don't mind, hey, what's going on, Jerry? If you guys don't mind, we're just gonna kind of jump right on into it. I know that I know Rebecca's gonna love hearing that. Like, what? What? Yes. Yeah, we're just gonna jump in tonight. Excuse me. What's going on, everybody? My name is Fearless Cummings. I am a certified life coach, philosopher, and your personal consigliere. Basically means personal advisor. On Ask Fearless, we talk about our dreams, goals, aspirations, problems, things that are preventing us from moving forward. I give you guys some tools, tips, strategies for your dreams, goals, and aspirations, and or problems. We've been doing this now for 69 days. So, can I get a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Before we really even get started, can I get my round of applause? Please. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. They like me. They really like me. I appreciate you guys so much for that. The reason why we clap, Jerry's still recovering. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you, Miss Anya. The reason why we clap for a few different reasons, ladies and gentlemen. We clap, number one, because we're here. And today is day 69 of 100, which basically means that we have about a month left. This has gone by pretty quick, hasn't it? We have about a month left of free coaching, free live coaching, building, and Q&A. Okay, so I'm just saying that, you know, the other reasons why we clap is that when you clap for you, you give people permission to clap for you too. Okay, that's a big thing, because a lot of us don't clap for ourselves, and then we wonder why other people are not clapping for us. And so you got to be clapping for yourself, okay? Period. And the other reason, like I said, man, we clap for each other. You know, I mean, I've been showing up every day, no matter what. Y'all been showing up, no matter what. Like I said, 4,500 friends, and less than 0.2% show up every single night, no matter what. I'm just saying that says more about you than it does about me, actually. So I appreciate that. Thank you guys. Before we can really get started, I just wanted to ask you guys how you guys doing with keeping your word. Today is day 14 with keeping our word. So how are you guys doing on that? Right? How are you guys doing? Have you noticed any differences? Have you noticed any changes? Has everything been cool? If it's cool, then let it be cool. I'm just asking, have you guys been doing a good job? Yeah, Christopher, I'm so proud of you, man. Miss Renita said I'm still on track. Christopher, guys, let's give him a round of applause. Number one, let's give him a round of applause. Number one, let me run that. Let me run my track right quick. Christopher, we're gonna give you a full round of applause. Full round of applause. I'm gonna tell you guys why. Christopher, I was talking to him today. He went to a funeral today, which is not the good part. The good part is that Christopher got paid today. And y'all want to know the first thing that Christopher did? Christopher paid himself first. Christopher, hey, what's going on, Yachty? Christopher said, Fearless, I paid myself today. He said, I paid myself $25. I said, perfect, bro. I said, no, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. It doesn't matter how much it is. It doesn't matter what the percentage is. I asked for 5% for you, right? But here's the cool thing is that you started. That's all we're saying, right? It's yours, yes. That's all we're saying. That $25 is for mine. It's for Cabo. It's for nobody else. Yes. That's your money, sir. Wonderful. I'm so proud of you, man. Good job with that. Good job. All right, so how you doing with keeping your word, Miss Shotty? How you doing on that, ma'am? Gotta hurry up too, because well, again, we have that delay or whatever. So, for those of you who are new, there's usually a 60-second delay, somewhere around there, from the time I see something to the time I respond. So if I say, "Hey, hurry up" or whatever, I am so sorry about that because I keep forgetting that you guys aren't even gonna see it for another minute or so. She said, "I'm great, thank you." I'm doing well. I'm doing well, dear. I'm doing well. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're just gonna kind of jump right on into it. Tonight, I told you guys last night, we're gonna talk about this. Okay? Because I think that this is so important. I think this is so important. Y'all see what that is? That's a person getting punched in their jaw. Hey, what's up, Rebecca? How you doing, dear? I told y'all last night that we're going to close episode 69 to 60s out. We're going to be talking about, like, when talking ain't working no more. So 6 times that hands might have to be laid. You understand what I'm saying? When is that time when you just gonna have to lay a person out? Like you might have to take an ass whooping, and that might be fine. But you just know, you understand that, bitch, before I go to jail, before I get stumped out, I'm gonna make sure I deliver you a 2-piece and a biscuit. Even if I don't get to the biscuit part, I'm gonna give you that 2-piece. That's that Kirk Kilpatrick. Kapow. Right in the good old smackaroo. We're gonna cause a bit of a kerfuffle in here. You understand what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just gotta be down playing with people. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my name is Fearless Cummings. I am your life coach, personal philosopher, consigliere, which basically means I'm just a personal advisor, if you will, right? On our show, we talk about our dreams, goals, aspirations, problems, preventions, patterns, good ones and bad. We kind of get deep around here. So if you don't like talking about accountability, responsibility, ownership, this isn't for you. There's over 100 million dead ass shows, channels on YouTube or Facebook for you to go watch. Then you should probably go do that. But if taking accountability, learning a couple things, and being around a bunch of amazing individuals is your thing, then pull up a chair and welcome to Ags Fearless. Thank you, guys. All right, let's jump in there. Please grab yourself a pen, pad, or anything else that you need to stay focused. Snacks, drinks, blanket, Snuggie charger, or reading glasses. Everything that we talk about on our channel, our show, is repetitive. Everything, for the most part, the presentations are usually cookie cutter, the same. The part that really drives everything home is when you ask questions. Okay, that's the part about coaching that makes it personal, is when it's pertaining to you directly. Okay, so repetition is key. Anything worth knowing, learning, teaching, or understanding revolves around this one word. So everything that we're going to talk about is going to be repetitive. Everything I have you do is going to be repetitive. Okay, wonderful. Now, before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, from the depths of hell, from the ceiling fans of heaven, can I get my hell yes, please, please? Can I get a hell yeah? Can I get my hell yeah so we can get this thing started? I got this Jimmy John sandwich right here that I've been dying to eat all day. I've been dying to eat this Jimmy John sandwich. This Jimmy John sandwich. Thank you guys. Thank you, Mr. Dady. Thank you, my mad scientist, my evil scientist, Miss Renita. Thank you, dear. Thank you, Rebecca. Where's Jer Bear? Where's Jer Bear? Where are you at, Jer Bear? Where are you at, Yachty? Thank you so much, Miss Anya Smaya Babanya. Thank you, Jerry. Where are you at, Yachty? Where's your dear? Where are you at, dear? Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We like to have a little bit of fun around here, but here's the thing. At the end of the day, I'm only here to help. Okay, that's all I'm here to do. I'm here to help, to do a few different things, whatever. But I think that I'm kind of I think that I'm something different for everybody. Okay, I can do a lot of different stuff, right? I'm amazing at what I do. And I can say that I'm amazing at what I do because what I do is God given. But the talent itself is something I had to work for. Okay? So I'm saying, right? All right. So, oh, there it is. She's washing dishes. Sweet. Well, good job cleaning that house, young lady. Good job. And hell, thank you for your hell yes. Today is our word of the week. I wanted to ask you guys real fast before we jump into this. Should we keep doing our word of the week? Should we keep doing it? I don't mind, but I also don't want to do something that y'all don't like. I never really asked. I just kind of threw it out there. Because we can still keep doing it. Doesn't bother me at all. So remember, we have the word of the week, right? And then we have, or like, do you guys want like a different word per day pertaining to the same thing? Which I guess that would kind of be our daily synonyms or whatever. But I don't know. You guys tell me. Rebecca, what do you think? Since you're the Rebecca and Renita, what are you guys thinking? Okay. All right. Okay, so it's a yes and keep going on with the word of the week then. Okay? What say you, Jerry Bear? What say you, Miss Renita? I know you're working, but I'm just asking. Okay, well, guess what? That's what we're doing then. Awesome. Thank you guys. Again, I don't know what works or what doesn't. And I'm still gonna ask you guys, and if you guys like it, we'll do it. If you don't like it, we won't. So all right. So tonight is Jerry says yes to. Thank you, Jerry Bear. All right. So tonight is our last night for discipline. To learn knowledge and information. Like I said before, the word discipline means doing something that you don't want to do, but you do it anyway because it has to be done. Discipline by itself is a self-respect in motion. All right, so here's our daily dose, and I can send these to you guys too. This is all the words that you guys have learned pertaining to discipline. These are the synonyms that we went over. So self-control, willpower, structure, regulation, restraint, training, and order. Okay. And then here is our antonyms for discipline: chaos, impulsiveness, neglect, laziness, rebellion, disorder, and indulgence. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that you guys knew what these words are. And again, whether you guys know it or not, you guys, this within this 7 days. Okay, I got you. Within this 7 days, I love this. I love within this last 7 days. I don't know if you guys, hold on, let me see. Oh, damn, my thing is not even on right now. Okay, hold on. Are you going to find me or what are we doing? Okay, there it is. Tracking is available. All right, thank you. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys this information. You guys have learned, I mean, technically within this last 7 days, you've learned 15 words. Within the last 7 days, 15. Before this, technically, you guys learned 22 words within that 1 week. 22 different words within that 1 week. So when I tell people that it's imperative to expand your repertoire when it comes to reading, this is why I'm talking about that. That's why I talk about it so much, because now you guys, if somebody's talking about discipline, you guys automatically know that, dude, that one word has a whole bunch of other words that go into it on both sides, right? And the one thing I didn't give you guys was the words that are in the middle of this one. I just gave you the synonyms and the antonyms. I didn't even give you what I would call the purposeless words, which is right there in the middle. I didn't even give y'all that one this time. Okay. Anyway, so there it is, Rebecca. I love it. I love it. All right, so again, today we are talking about when talking ain't working, and 6 times that them hands might have to be laid. Okay? Some when you just gotta say, you know what, fucking, I'm done talking to this dude. He ain't gonna listen. Right? But before we do, I'm gonna jump into this right quick. So here's the thing. I want to, because and not just for our group, but for everybody in general, I want to make sure that you guys understand what certain religious prophets or speakers or representatives, son of God, whatever you want to call it, have talked about. So I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to give you I'm going to give you Christianity. I'm going to give you Buddhism, and I'm going to give you Hinduism, real fast, just to kind of give us an idea of what these guys talked about and why they talked about it. So the first thing is Christianity, which Jesus talked nonviolence, radical forgiveness, and that inner restraint. Here's the thing. We've all talked about inner restraint since we've started. Yes, we've been talking about that, right? When to walk, like Jesus said, when to turn the other cheek. Put your sword in its place. All those who live who draw the sword will die by the sword. Matthew 25 or 26, 30, right? So we know this. Summary is that Jesus preached that nonviolence, not weakness, but moral strength and restraint, right? So he understood that dude, like, trying to fight everybody is not the way. Okay, his idea of power was spiritual authority, not denomination. What was that? Domination. Sorry, not done. Domination, right? Okay, but he's also the same one to tell people to pay their taxes and do all this other stuff too, right? So he taught that true victory comes from love, mercy, and enduring suffering with purpose. So it's just not that you're just going through some shit. It's going through some shit for a reason, right? Okay, hold on. So he didn't promote, but he also didn't promote being treated like a doormat neither, right? He did teach that violence leads to other violence and destruction, and that the kingdom of God is built on inner transformation, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a Christian, so you already know what that is. Okay. Today, hold on, painting in the garbage. Okay, not a problem. Today, Miss Jessica, we are talking about when talking ain't working, 6 times that you might have to put hands on somebody. Okay. So you might want to really listen to this one. All right, so that's what Jesus said. Now, what did Buddha say? Buddha said His core value is not harming people, mindfulness, and karma-based wisdom. Hatred does not cease by hatred, only by love. And this is the internal code, right? So he talked a lot about that. If somebody strikes you with a stick, you should abandon any desires and thoughts of hitting them back. That's kind of how he felt with certain things. But he also said that he was very obviously nonviolent, but he saw anger, revenge as attachments, as poisons, which I get that. I understand. Self-defense was not forbidden. All right. So listen to that. But it had to be done without hatred or delusion. So I'm going to repeat that one more time. Self-defense wasn't forbidden. So that means that if somebody's trying to off you, you have a right to defend yourself. Buddha, one of the most peaceful people, talked about this. Buddha lived 300 and some years before Jesus did. BC. Okay. In Buddhism, the intention behind every action matters just as much as the action within itself. Okay, so Jesus is like, nah, we ain't doing nothing. This dude's like, right? So he also said that Buddha, and okay, no, we already talked about that. So you can defend yourself if it's to protect life without ego or cruelty. Okay, so when Jessica's daughter got spit on at school, and Jessica's daughter beat the brakes, apparently, off this little girl. That's the type of shit that Buddha would have been like, bro, come on, man. It is not that serious. She tapped into an inner rage and apparently beat the shit out that girl. She went to Stumptown on her. Just saying. Here's the thing, though. I'm not going to lie to you. You punch a person, I mean, yeah, y'all got to squab it out. You spit on somebody, bitch, you deserve whatever you got. That's all I'm saying. Like, okay, so I think that we get that point. Okay. All right, one more. All right, so Christian Hinduism. Now, I like this one, right? As you can see, I'm not a Christian, but I'm well lean towards the Hinduism, right? Core believes righteous actions, dharma, which is what you're put here to do. Non-attachment to outcomes, spiritual duty, even if it includes violence. You have the right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Okay, I'll talk about that in a second. If you do not fight this righteous war, you will incur its sin, abandoning your duty and honor. Okay, so in summary, Krishna told this young man, Arjuna, that he was a warrior. That here's the thing: the warrior did not want to go fight. He didn't, right? But he said, failing to defend truth was worse than violence within itself. Violence done in alignment. Remember, we always talk about alignment with who we are. Okay, alignment with who we are with clarity. Clarity ain't got shit to do out there. It has everything to do with here first, right? So violence done in alignment with who you are and done without ego is not sinful at all. Now, he also lived before Jesus did as well. Just saying, and Buddha. Just saying, he taught that detachment from the outcome and clarity of purpose is what makes an action righteous, not whether it's passive or aggressive. Okay? That's what he talked about. So here, let me did I write that one? I did. Okay. So Jesus teaches restraint. Okay. Buddha taught detachment. So detach yourself from what's going on. And Krishna taught discernment. Discernment means understanding what we're doing it and why we're doing it. To be able to separate the two. So each point to form their own strengths. One is internal, right? Or internal. The other one's being mindful of everything else around you. And then the other one is duty. Okay. So if you think about it, that's kind of where we at with a lot of certain things, though, is it not? So when we're talking about going in on people. Again, we this is our 69th episode. We've talked about being positive, positive, positive. We talked about walking away, how to walk away, when to walk away, why to walk away, where you walk from, right? We talked about that. What happens though when you can't walk away no more? What happens when you need to call your wife, your husband, your friend, your whomever and say, listen, how much we got in the bank? Sweet, I need you to go get a loan right quick because I'm about to go to jail today. Right? That's what we're talking about today. See, last night we just talked. We did a little bit of talking. Today, no, we ain't doing that. All right, so here's the thing. So, fun fact that I kind of put them in a different order, but your nervous system knows before you do, and you know what I'm talking about, right? So that heat in your chest, your jaw gets clenched, right? The stillness right before the storm, like you know it's coming, right? That's that primal wisdom saying, see, here's the thing. This one not gonna learn from words. Show of hands, how many of us know somebody like that? Or it's like, nah. They not gonna learn from talking to them. Nope, they're not gonna learn from that. See, they're gonna learn from that good old fashioned ass whooping. And here's the thing, I'm gonna be honest with you. Here's the thing, I'm gonna let you know exactly what it is. Some of y'all gonna press the wrong person and you gonna get your ass whooped. But I'm gonna tell you this. Sometimes, man, you might not make it to that 2-piece and that biscuit. You might only be able to give them a 2-piece. And they gonna catch you and beat your ass. That's what they gonna do to you. All right, I'm gonna tell you what to do. Drop down, get in the fetal position, protect your head and your organs. Okay? That's what you want to do. But here's the thing, while you getting stomped out, you're going to be like, man, that was a good hit. I hit him hard. Well, I slapped the shit out of her. That's what I'm saying. There's consequences to putting hands on people. But we done already talked about all the stuff that people do to us, though, have we not? We done talked about that already. But again, like I'm saying, there's some people where they not gonna learn from words. Jerry said, yeah, I know somebody like that. I know people like that. They not gonna learn from what you're saying to them. The only way they gonna understand it is if they get slapped in their shit. Huh? That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you to dog walk them and and all that shit. I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying give them a couple of them. Well, let a couple of that shit fly a little bit. They'll get it. All right, so why are we going to be doing all this? Number one, blatant disrespect. Like I said, we done already talked about all the other stuff before of why we don't even want to go here. But now, unfortunately, we here. And we're closing season 7 out with a good old-fashioned ass whipping. Because sometimes that's all people need. That's all people need. That's why people act the way they do, because they ain't got an ass whooping in a while. That's all it is. All right, blatant disrespect example. They keep crossing that line even after being told no. Stop. Quit. How many times do you need to keep telling a person to stop? Do y'all think that it's appropriate for you to consistently keep wasting your physical breath, asking and begging people to leave you alone? Before you just have to kind of look around and be like, hey, come here. What'd you say? Say that one more time. I'm just saying. You'd be surprised what happens when you start looking around. When they talking, then you walk up to them. All right, I'm telling you, like their eyes get a little bit bigger. They're like, hold on, why you walking up on me? And then you just like, well, no, I'm just asking, what'd you say? And you say it real calmly, like what you say? I'm just asking, what would you say? Right? I'm just saying. Like I said, y'all, you ain't gotta be loud with it. Be calm with it. Be calm with it. That's what I'm saying. Right? So here's the thing, like I told you, I mean, I am a certified life coach, but here's the thing. I'm also not gonna be a doormat either. So we're gonna learn to put hands on your bitch asses. Let's go. Right. So the question is, am I letting them play in my face to keep the peace? When I first met Yachty was what? Yachty saw how I was just letting people just run off, just play. And I'm sitting up there because again, I have to I have to hold my position and be cool because again, however I run stuff, however I lead, everybody else around me is gonna follow. I didn't want that. I didn't want that. Now I want all the smoke. I don't give a fuck. Like where we at with it? Right? But I didn't just get to that point just in one day. It was blatant disrespect constantly. Blatant disrespect consistently. Nah, I'm good on that. Right? So what do? Silence is no longer noble. Set of physical, energetic, or verbal boundaries with weight. Bro, you say anything else, just send me your location. I'll pull up. I told y'all this when we first met each other. I ain't got no issues pulling up on people. None. I don't. That's not. And again, I'm not pulling up to get physical. I'm pulling up because I think that sometimes it's best to look a person in their face when you're talking to them, especially depending on what y'all talking about. I've met that there's certain people that some fuck shit. They can run off behind your back, but they're not trying to pull up. And when you ask them, hey, send your address. I'll pull up anywhere you are. I'll pull up. Like and tell them, like, no, I don't know. I don't want no bullshit. I just want to make sure that you understand, like, hey, I'm not scared of you, like at all. So whatever I need to say to you, I can say it to your face. I gotta say behind your back. I can tell you, right? But not everybody wants that, right? I've been like that since I was a kid, because that's how I was taught to handle things. You know, we didn't have cell phones and all that shit. So if you had a problem with somebody, you had to talk to them. So I'm not saying I'm gonna pull up so we can, bang it out. No, I'm almost 50 years old. I'm not doing that. I mean, I reserve the right to slap the shit out of you, very much. But I'm not trying to go all there, right? That's all I'm saying. How many of us have just sat there and just let somebody play with us though, and we didn't do shit about it? I know I have. Can anybody else? Can anybody else say me too? Anybody else? Oh, I mean, oh shit, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Just, oh hey, what's up, Jennifer? Yeah, well, right. When you just sat there and just let somebody play with you, and you didn't do nothing about it, and I ain't gonna lie, like now that I think about, it, we talked about, are there any regrets that you have? That's the one. Now that I think about, that's probably the one regret that I got. That's probably the one regret that I have. That I didn't stop certain shit in its fucking tracks when it started. Like that's a problem. That's something that I wish I could have. If I could go back to change, I would change that. Anything else I've done, like no. But sitting there just letting a person play with me like that, like just thinking that I'm a punk, nah, nah. And again, I didn't say anything out of loyalty. But then at that point, you have to ask yourself, who are you being loyal to? Right? Who wins when you're loyal, but you don't question anything? Right? Isn't that those questions that we asked about before? Come on now. Come on now. We really have to start asking ourselves this. Now we have an attorney in here with us. So uh Jennifer, I'm talking about this. Uh uh I'm being facetious talking about this, but I'm also kind of not joking around either. Because again, like I said, for the last 69 days, we've been on some peace shit. We've been on some stand up for ourselves stuff, but we ain't never talked about when is it time to like put that shit aside and just say fuck it, crash out. Because it almost seems like that's the only language that certain people understand. I was talking to Jessica today. She was telling me very quickly about a conversation that she'd had with another person, and that they've been trying to get a hold of this person for however long. And but this same person can sit there and call other people and talk to them on the phone and this and the other. But with Jessica and other people, they like, no, all correspondence need to be through email. Like what? Like, bitch, you're not even doing your job though. You see what I'm saying? So like those are those times where it's like I gotta be professional with you, but you're not professional with me. Like, make that make sense. I have to be professional with you, but you don't have to keep that same energy with me. Bitch, fuck you. How about that? We're done. Not doing that. Anytime I see you, I'm gonna disrespect you. At what point? And if you've asked the supervisor, hey, could you please give me somebody else? Because this relationship isn't working. Nah, we're good. You guys are fine. Okay, cool. So then you're still trying to do your job, although you don't like the person. You respectfully do your job, but they don't give a shit. So then what do? You have to sit around and keep getting disrespected. Here we go. Treat your peace it's a threat to your peace or your safety, right? That's why we put hands on people. That's why we say what we need to say to them, right? So they're not just arguing; they're escalating violence or cornering. You're trying to do your job. You're trying to get paid. You're trying to put food on your kids' table, and these people want to fucking play with you. And they know that there's nothing you can do about it. She does anything, then we'll just cut the contract. She says anything, then we'll just do this. She does anything, we'll just do that. So then people have to sit back and they have to just sit there and take that. No. So a question is this a threat that I'm trying to rationalize away? And how many times we do that? People talk shit to us. They treat us any kind of way. They threaten our peace. They threaten our family. They threaten our safety. They threaten our way of life. And we have to just sit there and take it. And then sadly enough, these people that are doing this to us think that, oh, they're not going to say anything because they're scared. It's like, no, I can't say anything because if I say something, you're going to try to fuck my life up. You see what I'm saying? So it's not that people are scared. It's not that people are not willing to go there. It's that if your life, in your family's life, is on the balance or hangs on the balance of someone else's opinion and someone else's action or somebody else's lack thereof action, you're the one who has to pay for that. You're the one who has to pay for that. about a month or so ago, I was in the office with some of that too. Jessica was in there too. I disrespected the holy fuck out of these people. What could you do to me? You can't do nothing. Right? What happens when people are not scared of you anymore? What happens if there's nothing you can do to me? Now what? At that point, I could say whatever I need to. Whatever I need to. Right? So that's what I'm trying to make sure that we get to that point where of discernment, of understanding when to bite your tongue and when you need to say something. And I mean, when I say something, bro, I need you to be so blatantly disrespectful with it. Because I think that some people consistently think that because they have a certain not percentage, they have a certain authority over certain things that they could treat you any kind of way. Like, no, we're not doing that. I remember when I was younger, I told my mom, I'm like, Mama, I love you, but I'm not gonna let you just talk to me any kind of way. I wasn't disrespectful to my mother. I never would be. But them days of putting hands on me and talking to me any kind of way, nah, bro, we not doing that. I was what, 15, 16? She told me you can get out of my house. Yes, ma'am. I left that night and never went back. Never. Told her I loved her, and that was it. Last time we ever lived together again. Right? I was willing to be homeless the first time, but you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. Period. You know. And being that we are a tribe, we are a crew, we are a group, we are a community. But I'm gonna hold your asses to the same standard that I hope that you would hold me to. We can't be just sitting there letting people just railroad us and talk to us any kind of way. That shit's out. Not doing that no more. Right? Bite your tongue until you need to, but as soon as you get up from under it, let these people know. That's what I'm talking about, Jennifer. Thank you. She said, been there and had to drop the hammer finally. Hell, yes. And that's what I'm saying. Jennifer, how long did you have to bite your tongue before you could drop that hammer, though? How long did you have to bite your tongue before you could drop that hammer? So what do we do in a situation like this? And I'm waiting for her to respond again, 60 seconds. We remove the threat by force, by energy, or by presence. Protect, don't plead. She said years. Years. So she had to protect herself. She had to let this bullshit happen. Couldn't say nothing for years. Think about how many ulcers and all kind of other physical problems that this woman has had because of that shit. The needless and unneeded stress. Before she can actually say something. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Like, we're not doing that. So remove the threat. And again, look at what Jessica's going through. Lots of unhealthy coping. Yep, I'm sure it was. You know, remove the threat with force, energy, or presence. Protect, but don't plead. What does that mean? Protect, but don't plead. Again, boundaries is about protection. Boundaries is about protection. It's about protecting you from other people and other people from you. That's what boundaries are. Another word for boundaries is protection. You got to protect your shit. So if you can't do your job, then you're going to have to keep going up that ladder until somebody figures it out. There you go. At least whatever part of that you can control, yes. Yes. Whatever part that you can control in the situation, take it. Run it. It's yours. See, the biggest problem that we have, Jennifer, is that a lot of us just don't want to face the consequences of dealing with some of this shit. We don't want to face the consequences of it. That's I don't know. Show of hands. How many of you guys would actually do so much more if you weren't scared of the consequences that came from it? Show of hands. How many of you would do so much more if it weren't for the consequences that you're scared to face? How many of y'all would have been? Chris said yes. Miss Yachty said, oh my God, right? Right? Miss Renita said I. Jerry said I. Miss Rebecca said I. Yeah. Right? So that's all I'm saying is that sometimes we don't do shit because of the fear that we have of the consequences that we're going to suffer from it. What I'm telling you is that sometimes, remember that discernment? There's sometimes, man, where you're just going to have to throw this other part away and do whatever needs to be done. It may not necessarily be the smartest, but sitting there letting somebody just do you, just dog you like that, bro, that shit kills your spirit. That kills your soul to just let that shit happen. That's letting a part of that child within you know that, man, yeah, they were right. I am worthless. They were right. I am a fucking coward. This is why I have low self-esteem. This is why I have low fucking confidence. That's why. Because that kid inside of us is like, man, step up for me. We grown ass men, and women, and we won't even step up. Today we won't. I'm just saying, like, man, and here's the thing, y'all. I've been there. I've done that shit. Like I said, I'm gathering a lot of my strength from y'all. Off top, I'm gathering so much strength, so much accountability and responsibility for my shit because of what I do here and meeting with you guys every night. I'm just saying. Okay, so number 3, repeated disrespect towards somebody that you love. Right? You've warned them about how they treat your child, your partner, your friend. And then instead of them backing off, they go ahead and double down on it. So question, do you think that my people are unprotected? Or excuse me, do they think that my people are unprotected? You see what I'm saying? And where does that protection come from? That protection comes from boundaries, right? There's that proverbial line in the sand that what we're not going to do is sit there and disrespect me. We're not doing that. And then other people feel, well, I'm going to do whatever I want. And then they're going to double down on it. I mean, all I'm saying is like, well, what do you do with something like that? Because I know that each and every one of us has sat there and looked the other way while people were blatantly fucking disrespectful. Blatantly. And we're sitting there thinking and wishing that we could do something about it. We could have, but we didn't. For whatever reason, we didn't. History shows that I was reading this I think I was watching a documentary or something like that. But they were talking about how many soldiers were in Auschwitz. And Those are like Jewish concentration camps, right? During World War II. There was it was a very small number of Nazis that were controlling like hundreds of Jewish people all at one time. So it wasn't like it was like thousands upon thousands of soldiers. It wasn't. It was a very small percentage of them that were controlling this large population. Matter of fact, even if you look at the jails and the prison system, you have one guard that maybe 2 or 3 guards that will manage however many hundred people. If the prisoners want to take over, they could take over. They just choose not to, right? But I kind of thought about like, man, it's crazy that under a life or death situation, we because of fear, we don't do nothing. Think about all those people, men, women, and children who passed on. That I'm not necessarily saying that the same fate wouldn't have happened to them. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, motherfucker, if I gotta go out, bitch, I'm going out with some type of dignity. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I may not be able to fist fight you, but I'm gonna spit in your face at least. Catch that bullet and go have dinner with Jesus afterwards, right? But it's that constant disrespect that we consistently keep facing that we're just kind of numb to because it happens so often. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I mean, I'm kind of on my little soapbox now, but like, what do y'all think? I mean, fuck, am I? Is it just me? I mean, is it just me and Jennifer going through this shit, or who sees it this way? I mean, I don't know. I mean, am I wrong? Am I looking at this from a coaching standpoint, from a philosophical standpoint? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up in the state that I see things totally different. I don't know. I was talking to my little brother today. Remember, my father passed a couple weeks ago, right? And I was just talking to my little brother today, and I explained to him like that I didn't have the same relationship with our father like you did. And I didn't mean to be disrespectful by no means. Like I told him, I said, but dude, like it was time after time after time after time being a child, and he and your mom or her stepmom choosing work over their child. Like I'm like, bro, like I stayed in foster care from 7 until I was 19. I'm like, do you realize how many times I saw my father and your mom? I'm like, bro, there was this time because we lived in North Omaha. I was at this foster home over on 24th and Mary, right? Now, if any of y'all know, back in the day, they had 4 Aces over in the area, so it's right off of 30th, right? So we were at 7-Eleven. That's how old I am, right? Which is across the street, and right next door to 7-Eleven was Romeo's, right? And so at that time they had been there for years. And I remember I saw my dad come out of there one day, and I ran up to him like, "Oh my God, I hadn't seen him, blah blah blah, whatever." And again, I'm in a foster home at this point, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll come get you on a Sunday." All right, cool. I tell him the address. It's literally right down the street. Again, they live on 24th and Crown Point. I lived on 24th and Mary Street. 24th, 24th Crown Point, like something in Mary. But either way, it's like a couple miles away, literally. The only thing separating us is Miller Park. So Sunday rolls around. I'm excited. No dad. I'm thinking like, nah, like maybe it was a different like maybe he just forgot or whatever, right? I ain't hear from that dude for like a couple of years afterwards. He paid child support every single month, no problem, right? Every month, but I never saw him. So my relationship with him was not the same as my brother's relationship with him, who he grew up with him. I grew up in the fucking state. You see what I'm saying? So then when my son's like, "Hey, Dad, I would love to go hang out with my grandpa," this and the other, right? And somebody else, I don't know who it was, uh, reminded me like, "Do you think that maybe you are protecting your son from him since nobody protected you from him?" And that never even crossed my mind. I'm like, damn, I never even thought about it like that, you know? So it's very we have to be very careful um about though that unprotection or that protection of the people that are around us. And I don't care who it is. Right? My son is everything to me. I love my dad, don't get me wrong. But I'm good. And I kept the same energy with my mother. My mom, like when she passed, I didn't have that relationship with her. Love my mama, but I didn't have that relationship with her. So as I was a kid, I would grow up, and I would always say to myself, I don't want to be a father like that. I don't want to be a parent like that at all. When my kid is scared of me, my kid can't talk to me about nothing. I'm never around him. Like, man, fuck that. No, you know what I'm saying? So when we talk about that repeated disrespect towards people that we love, that also means to people that are in our family as well, right? My father never really saw the type of father that I had become. He didn't need to. I knew the type of man I was, and I knew what type of man he wasn't to me. You see what I'm saying? So again, I mean, and maybe I still have some deep seated shit there. I'm sure I do. But at the same time, though, it's about protection. You protect the ones that you love, period, regardless of who you're protecting them from. Do you guys agree? Yes, no, maybe. But anyway, what I did was what to do is I showed them that I'm not, period. My son is protected at all costs, period. I would protect that little man with my life because the first day I held him, I knew that this little motherfucker would be the death of me one day. And I'm happy as fuck that it wasn't a girl. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm happy that my son, because you know what dads do for their daughters. Yee. I'm just happy that like that I mean, but it's my little guy. So man, I'm still with it. I love him. But that's how I feel about that. Thank you guys. Thank you. All right. So okay, bam, there we go. So respect happens faster than a conversation. Some people don't understand English. I mean, they understand English, but you know what I mean. They understand energy shifts, posture changes, or silence that carries weight. Sometimes your calm was the miscommunication. And I think that is and that happens a lot. I think that happens a lot with a lot of us. That we're calm with certain things, and then that miscommunication happens when people think, "Oh, I can just treat this person however I feel the need to," right? But we have to let them know, like, "Nah, this ain't gonna go the way that you think." That we're gonna be respectful here. You know, period. Regardless of what the consequences are, You're going to respect me just like I'm going to respect you. That's it. You know? All right, number 4. Gaslighting after the line's been crossed. Example, you said, don't do that again. And they did. And then they tried to flip it out on you. I know every single one of us has been around somebody that's kind of like that. Hell, I know I've done that shit to people myself. Right. So the question is, are they using my peace against me? How many, by show of hands, know people like this? That their whole thing is to gaslight the shit out of you. And at the end of the day, it's usually your fault. I mean, Lord knows, I know I've done that to people myself. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I know that I have. And that's why I wrote this up there, mainly for people like myself who's done this before. Not proud of it. I'm just saying I've done it before. Before I, really started committing to bettering myself in general and setting those boundaries, man, I was kind of all over the place with some of this stuff, man. Rebecca says I. Christopher says yes. He said that my dad cleaned my sister's first date. My dad cleaned shotgun for my sister's first date. Okay. All right. Yeah. Use your own piece against you. Isn't that fun? So what do? We let them know that some boundaries come with a price tag. Like we have to. That also includes if you're on the phone with them, man, sometimes like, hey, I'm done talking. Click. Hang up. Hang up. Don't say nothing else for a while. Be done talking. Nothing else to talk about. And we'll talk again in however long, right? I mean, seriously, if it's a keyboard warrior type thing, hang the fuck up. Stop talking. Stop talking. If y'all cool, y'all talk again. I'm just saying. I mean, sometimes just hang the fuck up. Hey man, I'm done talking. Click. Let your boundaries come with a price tag, yo. Period. They have to. How many times I've been on the phone talking to somebody, I'm like, yo, I'm done talking. Goodbye. Click. Yeah, you keep calling back, going straight to voicemail. Straight to voicemail. Straight to voicemail. Shut my phone off. Nope, we're not doing this. Okay. How many of y'all love hanging up on people? I'm really asking. How many of y'all like hanging up on people? You know what I'm saying? Just hang that phone up real quick. Just click. And I'm done. And then put it like for them, put their shit on do not disturb so you don't even hear them. I learned how to do that yesterday. I didn't even know that could be done. Did you know that you can put a person? I was watching this YouTube thing, and it was talking about how to do that. I was like, what? I didn't even know you could do that. I usually just send them straight to voicemail or something, or shut off my my ringer, which actually I need to do that now. Thank you. But I didn't know that you can actually do not disturb a person. No idea. And I get accused of that all the time. I'm like, bro, I didn't even know you can do all that. I just don't answer the phone or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Or send it to voicemail. That's crazy talk. I love it though. All right, so number 5. Violation of sacred space, home, kids, partner. This is also your mind as well. So example is that They showed up where they didn't belong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe you're doing something. Maybe you're in the middle of something. You know, you got some mental stuff going on and whatever. Next thing you know, this goofy motherfucker show up. They show up. Ugh. What do you want? You know? So our question is going to be, what am I teaching people happens when they violate what's sacred to me? And again, what does sacred mean? What is that sacred space? What does sacred mean for us? Being sacred means for us values. Yes? That's what sacred to us. That's what that means to us. When you violate that sacred thing for us, you're violating our value system or our values. Each and every one of you guys should know exactly what those things are. Yes, we sat down and talked about it. We're probably going to talk about it again before we wrap everything up, because I need to make sure that you guys have everything that you need. Okay, but we will be talking about our values again. We'll probably go a little bit more extensive into our values, into our principles, into our rules of engagement that make those things run. We are probably going to be talking about that in great detail, because I want to make sure when we get to 100, you guys know what I know. And at that point, I could just kind of maintain and teach you guys how to use it and how to keep it going. But you're not going to need to relearn it because you already know it. Okay? So again, like I said, that the question that I like to ask is, what am I teaching people happens when they violate what's sacred to me? Then let me ask you guys, do people know? Have you taught people what's important to you? Have you taught them? It's either yes or no. Do people know what's important to you? And I'm really asking, yes or no? Do they know? Have you been talking to somebody and somebody says, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. I don't know this. I don't know that. And Christopher said, I think so. Okay, thank you, Chris. Jerry said, yes. Okay. Okay, cool. People who know me. Okay, and I get that. I can, okay. I think so. Okay. So how about this? Jerry, Rebecca, how about this? Give me something other than each other and the kids. Give me something, teach me something, tell me something about your values other than each other and the kids. What else is sacred to you besides each other and your children? What else is sacred? Again, because when we talk about, and this also goes for you too, Jennifer. I want to know what's sacred to you too. Renita, we've already talked about this stuff in great detail, so you can, if you want to talk about it, you're more than welcome. Okay, your commitment to duty. What is that duty? My boundaries and my peace. Okay, cool. Okay, so what are you? So again, if you guys remember, what was the word that I used for? See, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I want to see. This is the type of example that I need. Give me that. Perfect. Okay, so what does it mean serving your community? Like in what capacity? Be very specific. Now I'm asking. Now we ain't gotta go into a whole War and Peace, Leo Tolstoy type thing, but just give me the bare minimum. I know serving my community, but what does it mean to serve the community? What specifically? Like Rebecca gave me artsy, musicy, craft stuff. That's her values. She loves that shit, right? So, uh, Yachty, same thing for you. Peace is one thing. I totally understand that, but my boundaries. What are your boundaries? Like we said that another word for boundaries is protection. So you're protecting something. What are you protecting? Aside from peace, what are you protecting? There you go. Okay. There it is. I love that. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So thank you for that, Jerry. And that's kind of what I'm talking about, right? And that's the reason why I love it when you guys go a little deeper, because when we go deeper, and again, I can even have you go even deeper on that, but we're not going to do that. But when we go deep, that's one of those things that when the more specific you are, the more clarity we have, because I already know the type of man that you are based on what we've talked about, based on what I know about you personally. I understand what that alignment is. You see what I'm saying? Like I get that. So when you say being a firefighter, that's aligned with who you are. Um, okay, so Jennifer, thank you. Personal growth, but what does personal growth mean? That can mean anything. Personal growth is letting your fingernails grow out a little longer. Letting your hair grow out is also a form of personal growth. So, what specifically do you mean? You're the attorney. It's the devil's in the details. I like the details. To be more specific, my mom's situation, because it takes a lot from me, because that's how much I love her, but it hurts so much when she's like that with me. Okay. So when you talk about boundaries, it's to protect yourself from that energy that she has. Then correct, Yadi? I don't want to put words in your mouth, because that's not my thing. What I'm just asking, is that what you're saying? Okay, hold on. Okay, perfect. I totally understand that. I get that. And I get that. And again, dear, we've talked about that a lot. And dear, you've come a long way with that, yo. You've come so far with that. I am very, very proud of you on that, man, on the work that you've done, with handling the situation with your mom. Not only, excuse me, not only your awareness of it, right? Because sometimes, man, we don't even know like what we're upset about, um, like in general, but your acknowledgement of it. So being aware of it is seeing it. And I had to write this stuff down because I wrote it down last night. Acknowledging it is accepting it, right? Well, it's admitting that, you know what, this is mine, right? And then the third part is the accountability, which is I take responsibility for this. I take responsibility for how I feel. I take responsibility for uh, or accountability as well for my part in all of this. Whether it may be small or large or this and the other, it's still there. And you have a strange relationship. I totally get that, but you have so much love there to give in general, and I think that from just knowing you, I could see how a person would gaslight you. I could see how a person would take that information and make you feel a certain way about it, right? Because loyalty is a big thing for you too, right? and then you're not gonna say much because you can't leave because you love this person. But then there's those consequences that we fear as well. So it's like you kind of stay stuck in this perpetual give and take, this tug of war of really wanting to establish some boundaries with her, as opposed to establish some boundaries within your own fucking peace. And I mean, it seems like to me that for you, the peace is starting to win out a little bit more, little by little, but it's happening nonetheless. And that's the thing I'm really proud of with you, Yachty, is that, like, seriously, you've come a long way since we talked about that thing during what is this, like early this year, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Like, yeah, no, yeah. She said that I came to the conclusion that if I'm ever honest, I want to be remembered for positive things and not like, oh, she was really rude or some type of negative person. Correct. No, and I totally understand that, Yachty. And I would say as well as that, I would also hope that you're also remembered for being a person that stood on values as well, that stood on her boundaries as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, seriously, because that's a huge thing to stand on that. In a lot of cases, we don't. We just allow this stuff to happen, and then we hope that it stops. And it's sometimes it's not going to. Like I said before, like, I love my mom, but I understood early when I was young that the love I was looking for from her, I wasn't going to get that. And if I was going to get it, it was going to come with strings attached. So I cut them strings off early as shit. I had to, for my own sanity. I had to cut that shit off. And I was I was like 16, 17. I had to cut it off. And that hurt. You know how that shit feels to emotionally detach from your mom? To put up a stone wall to the woman who gave birth to you? But I had to, because she was gonna fucking take me under with her. I didn't want that. I became a fucking an automaton tin man to everybody else because of that shit. You know what I'm saying? The only time that I actually let up is, fucking almost 13 years ago when my kid came. If I didn't have a little brother that I loved, as much as I did myself or whatever, I would have been completely out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. So, no, dear, I totally get it. I understand. Okay, so, all right, so what to do? So remember the intruder. Remove the intruder spiritually, emotionally, physically, and then clean that shit up afterwards. But either way, you gotta get rid of them as much as you possibly can. And even with you, Yachty, sometimes, honey, silence may be the best thing that you can do to certain people, including mom. Say, nah, I love you, but dude, like, you are toxic. And sometimes you have to tell people that in those words, not like turn up on them or nothing like that. But they have to understand that, dude, I got to protect my peace from you. Like, you're toxic. If I understood what those words were then, I'd have told my mama that, respectfully speaking. But I did tell her that, respectfully speaking. Mama, you need love from this woman. I don't. And I see you going through that. I can't do the same thing you're doing. I gotta love me first. So I don't know. All right. We got one more and then we're done. Okay, so they mistake your kindness for weakness, kind of like we talked about before, right? Um, so example is that they give you, you give grace, and then they saw it as a green light to do whatever the fuck they want to do to you. You gave them peace, you gave grace, you gave everything that you could, and then they saw that as weakness. Oh, I can do whatever I want you to them. So the question is, have I been too generous with people only to receive, um, only to respond to consequence? Oh, excuse me. Have I been too generous with people who only respond to consequence? So if you really think about that, what we're really asking is, have you been real cool with people and they only respond to a certain turn up esque type of thing? Like I work with a guy, and depending on how you talk to him, it's going to be how he reacts to certain things. So people might say, "Why are you always mean to him?" It's like, no, 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 no. I'm not being mean to the guy at all. It's that if I don't talk a certain way to him, he'll think that everything's cool, so he can go do whatever he wants to do. I don't play that at all. Whether we're in front of his parents, we're in front of, I don't care who we're in front of. I'm gonna talk to him the same way as we are, for the most part, in the house. Again, for the most part, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. For the most part, while we in the house, right? Because some people, they respond to something totally different. If you want to walk around and do that happy, happy, joy, joy, it's okay. This dude is going to wreck your shit. He's gonna run all over you. And again, it's not because he's just a dick. It's just that because you're gonna let him do it. People will do what you allow them to do. That's it. How many of us know somebody like that? How many, by show of hands, how many of us know somebody like that? That regard, if you're too nice to them, they're going. Rebecca, you got them kids you work with. If you're too nice, what happens if you're just too nice to people all the time? I mean, I'm just asking, Jessica, what happens when you're too nice to people? Jennifer, you're the attorney. What happens when you're too nice to people? What are they, Renita? What happens if you're too nice to people? She said bad things happen, right? And that's all I'm saying. I'm not sitting there telling y'all this because, because it sounds good. I'm telling y'all this because y'all know it too. You cannot, they will shit all over you. Now, there's certain people that you can be cool with them and you can talk to them real cool. You can say whatever and you got to say, right? Right. You have to balance it out or they will take advantage. Yes, that's literally all it is. Because I'm not like that 100% of the time at all. But I understand that with certain people, you have to be a certain way. Period. Period. And sometimes people need to witness what you're willing to do to other people. Because they may, oh, yeah, I don't think I want that side of him. Oh, I don't think I want that side of her. Yeah, I'm good on that. Yeah, I'm like, I saw what she did to such and such. I don't want no parts. We had a supervisor, Becky, over at HOH. I seen what Becky was like with other people. Becky could be vicious. Vicious. I don't scare easily, but with her, I proceeded with caution because I saw what she was at. I saw what she do to people. No problem. Again, we ain't never had that type of relationship. We were always cool, but I saw how she could be. I was like, no, thank you. Nope. Nope. I didn't want none of that. You know what I'm talking about, Jerry. I'm just saying this woman, she was on some different type shit. Like boy, I'm trying to tell y'all that woman was on something else. But if she liked you, if she was on your good side, if you was on her, she would do anything for you. Anything for you. I just so happen to be one of those ones that she would do anything for because I always did my job. I went above and beyond what I was supposed to do every time I showed up to shift. Every time. No exceptions. Not one. I never called in. Not one time. I was never late. In the 4 or 5 years I worked in houses, I was never late, not once. The only time I called in is when I took a vacation, and even then I didn't want to take that. Just saying. I had so much PTO time that I could actually give some away to other people because I never took it. Just saying, right? All right, so what to do? Remind them that grace is a gift, not a guarantee. Some lessons are taught by hand. I think you already know what I'm talking about on that one. Some lessons are taught by hand, which means there's some things that you cannot say to people. You got to show them. And in our field, we call it hand over hand. We call it hand over hand in our field. All right, hold on. Let me. Okay, so here's a last fun fact. People only respect what they fear losing. Respect does not come from kindness. Sometimes it comes from consequence. Okay. Respect doesn't always come from kindness. Sometimes it comes from the consequence. So turning up is it's rarely the first option, but make sure people know that it's still available. That's all I'm saying. Turning up, crashing out, it's rarely the first option. But just make sure people know that you, like Dave Chappelle said, you reserve the right to fuck some shit up. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. This is our, and I think I sent this to everybody, so you guys already have a copy of this. As soon as I made it, I sent it off. What do you guys think? Which one resonated with you the most? And then we can get the hell out of here. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna play a video game. I'm gonna eat my sandwich. I'm gonna eat my sandwich. I'm gonna eat my sandwich, and I'm gonna chill for the night. Which ones did you guys resonate with the most? One second. There we go. Oh, Chris said, oh, okay. Threat to your safe peace and safety. Gaslighting after things. Okay. Miss Yadira said 2 and 6. Said them in second Collins for weakness. Okay. Rebecca says 3 and 5. Okay. Violation. Right. Okay. Jerry said all of them. Again, of course he did. Of course. What say you, Rebecca? What say you, Jennifer? If you guys are still with us. No, Renita. I'm sorry, dear. And you're right on that too, Miss Renita. That people consistently keep thinking that, that you soften, that you're weak. If you, you know what I'm saying? If they thinking that, I can do whatever I need to, like, yeah, people mistaking your kindness for weakness. All right, good night, Jerry Bear. All right, good night, guys. Okay, I think we are. Yeah, I think we're about good then. All right, if you guys want to write anything else, go ahead. I'll still see it. I'm gonna still probably stay up on here for a little bit and stuff, but um, yeah, man. If let me know if you guys need any assistance with this stuff or whatever. Again, I'm always here. You know that. Um, yeah, all that good stuff, whatever. So, but either way, man, I will see you guys later. Chris has said I'm going to bed. All right. Okay, I will see you guys later. Have a great, amazing night. Sleep well, dream big, and I will see you guys tomorrow.